Hey y'all, welcome to my channel and my first video. My name's Amber and I am a new-ish mom. My daughter is 2 months. We're actually in her nursery, so sorry. But this, if you personally know me, you know that this is where I filmed any live videos or anything I did with the Facebook group I had, just keeping everyone updated. So it only felt fitting to kind of come and sit on the floor, kind of in the place that all started before we even had literally anything. We might have had the crib, but so here we are. But I really wanted to start this channel to kind of just help out any of you that may be in the same boat that we were in or we are in. My husband and I were diagnosed with infertility, and we chose to go the route of private infant adoption. We did use an agency, and at the time when we were in the, maybe not so much in the beginning of the process, but I mean even in the middle, I felt like I had a million questions, and Google could be my best friend, but also like the worst. The amount of information is overwhelming, and it's one of those you just want like a first-hand experience from someone and somebody that understands. So at least in my case. So I actually reached out to somebody who I had found their YouTube, and desperate times call for desperate measures. I reached out to a total stranger, and she was a godsend. Sweetest person. Thank you, Taylor. But she set up a phone call with me. She went over everything. She let me ask any questions. She sent me a bunch of info. She really told me about her experience and a lot more than I expected from reaching out to a total stranger. So, again, it was such a godsend to me personally. I mean, to me and my husband, to me personally, as a mom going through this process. So my hope is that I can be that to even one person. Like, that would be amazing, because it did change my life. That sounds crazy, but it did. So here I am, and I am going to just kind of share a little bit today about our journey. I have linked our agency down below. My husband and I are local to Texas. So for us, it was very important that our birth mother be in Texas. We did not want to travel. Due to my husband's job, that would have been really difficult. Not difficult, it could have been done, but it would have been tough. All of that aside, that's just our preference. And I'll do a different video or something talking about specifically our agency, but we used Texas Adoption Center. Absolutely incredible. Again, I will make a video about them because they like 100% deserve it. But so that is who we used, and it is birth moms local to Texas. Adopted families can be from anywhere. We just so happen to be in Texas. So there's a little backstory on that. But, and I also, I need to preface that our situation is very, very, very unique. My husband and I started the process for adoption in December. It is like a mountain of paperwork. If you are in the thick of it right now, you get it. It's a lot of paperwork, and this is after months of me trying to figure out what agency we were going to use, but again, different video. And we had our home study, and that took 4 weeks to be approved and back into our agency. And so all of this happens, and that by the time we were complete with everything, we had our home study done in February, end of February. We were home study approved on the it must have been the 26th. So we went active on the 26th of March. hold on, it's gonna get crazy now. So on the 26th, we get, hey, you're active, whatever. I was already on my email. I had sent in the book, like whatever. Again, I can make a video on that whole mess, but but I'm the one who looked at the email, received a profile for a birth mother. Keep in mind, we literally had been active for 20 minutes, received this profile. We hadn't even had our intake, hey, this is how the matching process works. And I, 3 minutes later, responded yes, we want to present. I had blown through her profile. I don't know. Some people are oh, it's just the adrenaline, whatever, you were active. No, I, in my heart of hearts, felt the biggest pull. And I don't want to get emotional because I might. But this was the right fit. And so I responded yes. This is after I mentioned to my husband, hey, can you go look at this profile? And he's like, yeah, I will later, when I'm home. So, side note, my husband didn't even know I said, yes, we want to present. But they were presenting to this birth mother the next day, March 27th. Because I'm crazy, we were the first people that got presented to this birth mother because I responded in minutes. And luckily my husband, don't worry, that night was like, yeah, absolutely. I said the phrase, let's just shoot our shot. Now a phrase that I will use very lightly the rest of our lives. But we presented, we were presented to this birth mother, and we received a call on Sunday from the social worker, our social worker. And she made it very clear that you will only receive a call if you have been picked or if the birth mother has questions. That is it. She does not do false alarms. So we received a call. Keep in mind, I had been psycho about checking my phone, and I put my phone down to go clean and I missed the phone call. So I call her back. She's like, hey, birth mother has questions for you. Okay, great. She was really shy. And so we ended up, I sent an email and I was like, how much is too much? And I spilled my guts and I sent this, and she, oh, that's great, whatever. Didn't think anything of it. Again, this is the first time we've presented. We haven't been active for even 24 hours before this all happened. So Monday morning, so on the 30th, I am COVID is going on. I've been working from home and stuff, and that was my day to go into the office late. So I throw my stuff in my vehicle and I get a phone call, and it's from the social worker. And I'm like, okay, she's just trying to be nice because we didn't get picked. I don't know. She goes, hey, am I on speakerphone? I said, no, I'm actually headed to work. I'm headed to the office. And she goes, okay, you want to go inside and put me on speakerphone? You're going to want to sit down because I'm about to rock your world. And she said, I'm full on panic mode for the most part. And she's like, not only were you picked by the birth mother, she is in labor and she is dilated. I think she was at a 6. Well, so the profile we got, I should probably back up. It said she was due end of April. We still had a month. Yo, this room, we had this crib and this rug. The end. Holy smokes. She literally said, do not pass go, do not collect 200, pack your bags and leave right now. Because of COVID, we were not allowed at the hospital. We could not meet birth mom. We could not meet our daughter. We did not meet our daughter until she was discharged from the hospital. It was incredibly difficult. I don't want to make this video excessively long, but because of COVID, things were incredibly different. So like I said, we could not go to the hospital because we were not from that town. and we were near somewhere that was highly affected at the time. This was when businesses were shutting down. So we were just like, absolutely not, do not even come to the emergency room doors. And they fought for us. They really fought for us to be able to go in, because it's really important, and it was so difficult. Especially, I mean, I wasn't a mom at the time, but just imagining that our birth mother was supposed to sign off her rights in 48 hours in the state of Texas, like, without ever meeting us. Keep in mind, she's in the hospital and she has one support person. And your mind is all over the place within those 48 hours. So, but because of COVID, again, we could not go to the hospital. We ended up meeting our birth mom in a parking lot before she signed her papers. This is something that we were incredibly lucky. I was texting her like nonstop. Those 48 hours, like, we were talking nonstop. But the situation was incredibly different. And it was something that our social workers, we had a social worker, and our birth mom also had a social worker. They both worked with both of us. So it was, again, amazing. But another time. The situation was so new for them. They have never been in this situation. They would normally never sign papers the way they sign papers. Like, normally you go to dinner, you know, it's a big deal. We didn't have that option. The birth mom left the hospital the day before. She was not allowed back in the hospital to say goodbye to her baby. That, like, just, it about crushed me. So we, again, did what we could. We met in a parking lot to meet our birth mother. We signed our papers in a parking lot. She signed her papers. She signed her rights away in a parking lot because of COVID-19. The nurse gave us our discharge instructions over the phone driving to the hospital to pick up our daughter. And we are, fresh, new parents. So just imagine the emotions that were going through our head. And that's, retaining any of that info was like next to impossible. My husband is taking notes on his phone as I am driving us the 5 minutes to the hospital. So our baby was walked out to us in her car seat. We could not take the car seat from the nurse. The car seat was placed into our vehicle. We did not get to hold our baby. We didn't, nothing. Like, we then had to move from the hospital entrance to a parking spot and sign our paperwork. It was very surreal. And we took the car seat out of the car when we were signing, like, our paperwork on a tailgate, might I add. And when we got back in the vehicle to go to our hotel room, it was like, what just happened? Who gave us this baby? I don't know how to explain it, because it was such a quick process for us. Like, we had no idea. And then 3 days of just mess, sitting in the hotel room and stuff. So, I guess I just wanted to share that, because a lot of people have been asking as far as like, oh, having a baby during COVID, well, what about adopting? Every situation, I will say, is, very different. Depending on where you are, depending on the hospital, it is all up to the hospital. Our social worker had no say. Our birth mom had no say. We had no say. It is strictly the hospital. It is strictly what they are doing. And at the end of the day, we really had to just keep in mind that is what was best for our daughter. As difficult as that was, because I don't know how to explain it. We didn't get those 72 hours. So, and the birth mom didn't get our support, and that is it's really tough. So, didn't get our support, I guess, in the way we wanted to, but okay, now I'm rambling. So that is it. I just wanted to kind of do an intro video and let you know that process. I will go into much more detail on certain parts because that was a very big overview, whatever you want to call it. But thank y'all for, I guess, checking out my channel. Again, I'm going to leave our agency down below. I'm also going to leave my email down below. If any of y'all are going through this process, or wherever you are in your journey, if you are even thinking of adoption, please feel free to reach out. I guess the thing to say on YouTube would be to like hit the like button and subscribe and like the little notification. But all that would be nice. And I definitely want you to join me along with this. And I am excited to share more about our adoption process and where we're at now, because I promise it does not stop once you pick up your baby at all. But and please, if you have any questions, if you want to see anything, just leave it down. Hopefully the comments will be on. I'd love to just share it all with you. So I am an open book, and I will probably give you far too much information. So thank y'all for watching, and I will see you in my next video.